The Shamrock Show is brought to you by the law firm of Stephen Reck and Scott Camisar. Check them out at stephenreck.net. That's STEPHENRECK.net. Scott is my guy. If you've been wronged, he'll make it right. Personal injury, medical malpractice, wrongful death, any kind of issue you got, Scott's Legal Mind will get you paid. Check them out online or on Facebook.
Welcome to the Shamrock Show. Sit down, have a listen, and go fuck yourself.
The Shamrock Show.
Proudly hailing from Japan, ladies and gentlemen, introducing James the Scabenham Gallagher.
You got a good setup.
Yeah, you like that, yeah?
Very well, not quality.
I got the belts up there, but for our Bellator friends, I decided to cover them up with the tripod, and I gave them a Bellator hat too, you know?
Quality. Nice one, man. How are you doing? Any good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How about yourself? You got some sunshine out in Kansas City, huh?
A little bit because I can't really see. Probably a little better.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good, man. You're looking jacked, bro. Looking jacked.
Yeah. Good shit. So I'm big these days. So it's getting good of workout here. So I'm just done. Literally just come back from training here. So I think we did about 10 rounds this morning of jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah.
So,
I saw an interview with Tim Elliott the other day, yesterday, talking about how you were choking him out, man.
I don't know about that, but he was Tim's the man. I swear to God, he's a beast. If there's one guy who you can't keep down, it's him. So it is that.
Well, he gave Demetrius Johnson a hell of a fight, man. So I mean, he's gotta be wiry, yeah.
Yeah, Tim's a beast. Him and Gina. So I've been learning so much from both of them out here. It's kind of Timmy's got that kind of style is where he kind of lets you attack and then just rolls and scrambles and hits you from directions where you've never been hit before. Yeah. And it's quality getting rounds in these guys. And then Gina's a beast, man. She'll punch you in the head, just bang. She's strong and just then she comes at it. She always comes for a scrap, and it's been great working with both of them and everyone else. You know what I mean? Christ, and the boys out here, it's high level.
That's what's up, man. So I rocked. I got a little Kansas City shirt for you today, man. To be in, man. I got the Kansas City. How did you and James Krause lock up? How did you end up there?
Through Tyler Minton. So I brought Tyler in to be a nutritionist a few years ago, and we became like really good friends. And he's like kind of like a big brother kind of figure to me now. He's the guy who keeps me on the straight and narrow, as I would say.
I imagine that's a tough job, you know.
So he's kind of a few years older than me and no more mature and stuff. So it's good that I've got someone like that now who I can just be honest with, and he can be honest with me and keeps me kind of straight. So he's been on about James for years, and that's who he trains under. And always just you gotta go out. And then I just started like speaking to James, like messaging him back and forward, whatever, and he was like just welcome anytime. And then just before Christmas there passed, I just bit the bullet and came out.
It's a big move, man. That's like from Ireland, not even just to America. That's like I've never been to fucking Kansas City. That's like America, man. You know, that's like I picture cowboys and shit, you know.
Yeah, it's not far off. It depends. You get both. You know what I mean? It's kind of you be floating in the gym. There's next minute boys coming to make cowboy bits and whatnot. It's pretty something different. And then after Christmas, then I think I was like trying to get focused and get going down. And COVID was a big kind of part back home and stuff like that. And I think just a lot of distractions kind of going on, and it was kind of like blowing up now back home and that kind of thing. So I just needed to take my mind to a place that I can just forget about everything and don't have any responsibilities. Nothing in my mind. There's nothing's crossing my mind today other than fighting for a world championship. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And that's what I did. So then when I come out then after Christmas, I was just at the John and stuff, and I was like, just being around this. Just being around here is not good for my head at the minute. I'm young. I've got everything going for me and all this, and I don't want to be one of the kind of guys that he could have made something, only he got distracted. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like my worst nightmare. and I'm not putting myself into that kind of position. So then after it, I just was like, fuck this, I'm going to go somewhere where there's nothing going on. Just a solid gym, bunch of killers, good mindset, focused in I've only got one thing left to do, and that's to go and do the damn thing.
Yeah. I think that's a great mindset, because that woulda, shoulda, coulda stuff is the worst. You see guys through the years come out, I've been there for 8 years, and like, kid comes in, he's there for a year or two, and he's like nasty, and then he gets caught up in a girl or a baby, or just you get a job, just you see like, man, that guy's gonna look back at 35 thinking like, shit, man, I could have, I think it would be better. Well, not even I think, I know it's better if you go out there, shoot your shot, and just fall flat, than to be like, what the hell?
That's what I'm doing. Like, put me a fucking heart on my sleeve and go out there and carry it high, you know what I mean? And no matter what happens, I know I give it my all. And that's all I can do. I can't do any better than my all, you know what I mean? And that's what I do every time. Every time I go out there, I'm going to make sure that I get myself into the best position, mentally, physically. Just go out there and put it on the line. Do you know what I mean? That's why I can speak and I can say whatever the fuck I want. Because I know that I've done everything to my best ability, to my best knowledge that I can do. Because then I'm free then. Do you know what I mean? I'm freedom. It's a weight off my shoulders. There's no pressure. There's no nothing. And I can go up and tell someone blank and nine, go, I'm going to fuck you up, mate. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? I have no stones left unturned. And that's when people like associate it with being cocky or like overconfident or whatever. And it's like, no, it's just, that's the feeling you get when you leave no stones unturned. Get committed and try it. Do you know what I mean? Try and leave no stones unturned. And you'll see how confident you can be. Yeah.
Well, you're a fighter. You're supposed to. That's the mindset you're supposed to have, man. It's not like you're not going out to shoot hoop or something. You know what I mean? It's a fight.
Every time I walk in there, I have a talk with myself, going, I will die trying to do this. Like, no problem. You know what I mean? I don't want to die, but I will if that's what it takes. And that's like, I don't care. I mean, I'll happily die. It's, you know what I mean, to just try and win. And that's the kind of, you need to be in that kind of buzz and that kind of spirit. And it's kind of like going back to quoting Connor, he said the work's easy if you're 100% committed.
Yeah.
If you're 100% committed, then you've got nothing else to distract you, so it's not that bad.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You've put yourself in a position now where you got that. You know what I mean? I imagine the fanfare. You can go to the store probably a little bit more undisturbed in Kansas City than you can in Strabon. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, I love that. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I go do shit that I go out to.
Yeah. Well, that's the pros and cons, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I love it. And back home where I come from, and back in Strabon and all over the place, Belfast, Dublin, wherever I go, I fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? But now, just at this age and at this stage of my career, where I'm like kind of maturing, I'm growing up a little bit and whatever, it's going, let's take myself away from a situation where I've got everything at a phone call. You know what I mean? Let's put myself into a position where I don't know really many people going around. No, not many people know me. And people would recognize me, go for food or whatever they call it, you're the Bellator fighter or whatever. Yeah. But all I've got here is the gym. You know what I mean? And that's what I need right now, just at my age, my kind of lifestyle, what I've got going on. I'm kind of getting money now. Everyone's kind of knowing who I am, and just want to be able to achieve what I want to achieve, and then I can go back into that. Unfair, you know what I mean, as you would call it.
Yeah. Jimmy, how old are you? 23, 22?
24. So
24. Yeah. It's wild, right? So I was kind of thinking about it, how you got 12 professional fights, and you came into Bellator at 3-0, right? But if you look at like American sports, right? So somebody come out of college, so they're going to go to college, say they're playing football, basketball, even going to wrestle, right? They're going to graduate high school at 18. They're going to be like 22 before they're even trying to do something pro. And you're 12 fights deep at kind of where the average person is getting it going,
Yeah. I've got 30 fights in total, pro and amateur, for 29, I think. Wow. So 15-3 is amateur, and then one is a pro. So whatever that is.
Yeah. That's gnarly, man. Speaking of Strabon, so I thought it was wild when, shout out to Ian for linking us up, man. That Ian is, I know you probably only worked with him a couple of times because he wasn't doing a lot of European shows, but dude,
Yeah.
that guy is the best, man. I fucking love, he's actually done the podcast a couple of times, man. I fucking love it, man. So shout out to Ian for linking us up, man. But
Yeah.
When we first talked, I was like, I wonder if he's ever been to, to the Oysters in Strabon, because I have no idea. I haven't been there. I don't know how big Strabon is. And I was like, yo, you ever heard of this restaurant? And you're like, Kevin? I'm like, holy shit, man, that's fucking wild.
Is it, isn't it? Yeah, Oysters is lovely, man. So it is always going there after a fight. Like they always do kind of like venison and stuff like that. It's cold. So it is. It's kind of like in Strabon is probably there's kind of like there's loads of good restaurants in Strabon. You got like the Hidden Pearl and stuff like that, and it's like kind of high class food, but you can just go in off the street. Where Oysters a bit more like kind of fancy and shit, but it's a good place. So it is. I like it in there.
Yeah, it's just wild like that.
It's
I would have a cousin there, and I thought like maybe you would know the restaurant, but like, do you really like Kevin? I'm like,
Kevin. For years, since I've been a young lad knocking around. It's just a small place. I mean, everyone kind of knows everyone, and it's that kind of tight community vibe. You know what I mean? And that's why I've got so much support. You know what I'm saying? And it's good as well. And I always kind of go back and always try and do something for the young people around, and always try and do what I can. So I overstep the mark as well.
Well, I remember seeing when you were talking with Patty on his podcast, and you were saying like girls will come to knock on the door and shit, and like just straight up like, oh, is James there?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The kids are crying and shit, and it was the same as well. I brought out like my new tracksuit range, and my friends tell me like there's little kids stopping them and going, oh no, I'm saving up to get that and stuff. So what I do then to people like that is like I'll just find out their addresses and just surprise them. You know what I mean? I'll send them bits out and whatnot and stuff, just because I just remember what it was like being young fella, and you're 10, 11, 12. I mean, I started training when I was 12, and just getting into it, and you're seeing people and you're looking up to them, and just when someone like that connects back with you, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's kind of like not even in my position. I'm rubbing shoulders with people who I used to sit down when I was a kid, and my mum used to buy me videos of these people. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And now I'm walking past, I've got their phone numbers. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of sometimes I just have to sit down and take it back a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you can get ahead of yourself and you can be the man as I am. Do you know what I mean? I don't count that for 1 second, but I'm just me as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you have to be, I'm no different from that, them, the young guys back home. That is me. I was that. Do you know what I mean? And now I just formed up to be who I am today. And I always feel like I have to reconnect with them kind of people, the kids, and I'll go train down there and stuff like that. And I'll give them bits of good gloves or whatever, bits of training gear. And it's just because I remember when I was that age, if someone did that to me, I would have got up the next morning, couldn't wait to get into the gym with a pair of gloves that someone give me or you know what I mean? And then I was like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna get to where they are now. And then you get up there and it's like, fuck that, I'm past that now. You know what I mean? I'm past them. And then you just go and go and go until it doesn't stop, until you're at the very top, until you can give back. You know what I mean? And that's where I am now. I'm climbing. I'm on my way.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're 24. You've had three main events. Is that right?
Yeah, 3.
And I gotta imagine from here on out, you're no less than a co-main event, no matter what you're doing. You're right. Like,
I've never been on the prelims ever.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, I have only bar one fight, one or two fights. I've always been a co-main event or main event. Yeah, I've never so I haven't. So it says a lot, you know what I mean? And people can speak what they want about me, but I don't see any other fighters at the top of the division who are under 26, 27 that have done stuff like that, and there is earning what I'm earning and stuff as quick as I am. Well, and you can count it out all you want. People can fucking write me out and they mightn't agree with some of the stuff I do, but if you want my results and you haven't got them, why are you slating me? You know what I mean? I don't fucking get that, but it's what it is. You know what I mean? I just try and keep myself to myself these days and keep the head focused, and people can say and do what they want. I don't have any control of that. You know,
the champion of your division, he's like, I think he's 33. You know, that'd be like 10 years from now, you getting your first main event. You know, I mean, it's a totally different career trajectory, and And this comes with a lot of pressure. I know, like, so I got linked up with Ian and Rich Chow and Mike Hogan because as a guy from my gym, my teammate, my friend, his name's Brennan Ward, and he won the season 9 tournament for when Bellator was still doing like all straight tournaments. His dad owns the gym out here, and you know, they used to put him on like every show at Mohegan Sun, right? And they were wild, but there was also the side of him that was like, fuck, there's so much that comes along with fighting in the backyard, because like we live like 15 minutes from Mohegan Sun, you know, and we're selling, you know, I say we just because I was helping him out, but I don't mean we at all. Brendan was selling the place out, and there was another kid, heavyweight Josh Diekman, but at the same time, they were like, get me out of here, because it's just, there's so much more distractions that come with the hometown. You know, do you get that with Dublin? You know, the same, like it's like, yeah, it's awesome. You know what, you know, once it's finally over and you're on top of the cage and there's 8,000 people screaming your name, but the lead up to it, the whole, it's got to be nice to get out of there a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. See, the thing is, for me, is it's kind of like two worlds, because I love that side of it. I love that world. You know what I mean? It fulfills me. It makes me feel good and stuff. But sometimes then it kind of like gets overbearing that it's taken away from the work. And when it starts taking away from work, you have to like get away from it. You know what I mean? And it's not that I'm too big to be there or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I'm walking on the street and no problem and stuff. But the fight day and all that kind of crack, it's heavy. You know what I mean? You have to avoid it just to save your energy.
Right. Everyone wants tickets last minute and shit, and you know,
you know,
what are you doing afterwards? And
pictures and all this kind of stuff. And I fucking love it. It makes me feel good. I mean, the support and that. But just now at this stage of my career, is kind of, there's no fans kind of at the shows anyway, with COVID and whatnot and stuff like that, and just the distraction that I had in my outside life, and you know, like hanging out when you're with friends, and you kind of get up in the bad company, and people trying to pull you down because they think you're too big. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, and I just didn't need that. You know what I mean? And I don't need that. So for this year, anyway, do you know what I'm saying? I just need to get away and get focused. And I'm kind of like at the stage of my career where this is where I've all worked towards. Do you know what I mean? This is it. No, I'm not just not there. You know what I mean? And even when I get the belt, I've still so much more to do. But I'm kind of at that stage where I have to flip that switch now and flip over and be successful. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do whatever I think's best, and whatever to the best of my knowledge that I can do, I'm going to do it.
What was it like walking out to the empty stadium in your last fight against what's his name there, Cal Eleanor? Like, you know, was that wild? This the emptiness of it. Did it affect do you feel like it affects your energy at all? Or no.
Nah, nothing like that. I love the crowd. You know what I mean? I love walking out in the straight rain, and you walk out and you see fucking people on their feet giving it loads. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable, but it was kind of sad, but I liked it as well, because I was kind of getting to that stage where I felt like no one in the game was taking me serious. Do you know what I mean? Just looking at me or whatever and going, oh, that was a fluke, or that guy was a nobody. And Cal's one of the best guys in Europe, you know what I mean? And he was a solid jiu-jitsu guy, and everyone's all the strangler, and no disrespect to Cal, but I went in there and made it look easy. Do you know what I mean? That's what I liked, was no pride, that I was able to walk up into his face and go, it's just me, you know what I mean? Touch his glove and go, you're getting it. I was all, there's no question in my mind. I was like, you're getting it tonight. And then we walked into the middle, and the ref was like, he's ready. I was like, let's do it. It's not all talk no more. And I went out and I made it look pretty easy. You know what I mean? I did almost a flawless performance, and that's what I liked about it. You know what I mean? I could hear everything. He could feel that energy, and I wanted him to feel it, and he did.
Yeah. When you're saying that people weren't taking you seriously, I've always felt like you've kind of been put in like a lose-lose situation on a couple fronts. Like, once, like, people are going to be like, oh, he's boys with Connor, so he's only getting this because of that. Or at the same time, if you don't succeed, they're going to be like, oh, look, he had Connor and he didn't succeed. And then Bellator being in the situation that they are, where they can sign young prospects, the balance between trying to get you matched up correctly coming up in your career versus people saying, oh, he hasn't fought anybody. You know, you look at like Pico, right? And I mean, his first fight, I thought that was a terrible fight for him. You know, you get guys like MVP, and still he's whatever his record is, and people are like, oh, he hasn't fought anybody except the one guy, except for Lima, and then you got Star. It's a bad, not a bad spot. You're in a great spot, but it's a tough for the critics. It's like lose. No matter what you do, I feel like they're just like dealing it against you, man.
They're going to criticize you anyway, so there's no point. You know what I mean? That's what I don't give one fuck, man, to be honest. As long as in my heart and for my family, as long as I do what I set out to do for them and the people that support me, I'm not out here to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? When you start proving people wrong, things go wrong. I'm out here to just do right for me, first of all. I'm not fighting for no one else but myself. I'm very selfish. Just doing this all for myself, and I'm a family guy as well, so if I can give back to my family at times, and then I will, and they just support me and they don't want nothing from me. So I'm just out here to do this for me, make myself become a world champion, is because it's something that I want to be, and make my family proud. I want my mother and father to sit back and be like, that's our boy, that's who we raised up to be that man today. And after that, man, I want to do my coaches proud, you know what I mean? And after that, I don't fuck, say what you want about me. Do you know what I mean? You're going to say, if you say it about me, then it means the guy over the road's getting arrested. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So say what you want, you know what I mean? But no one ever comes up to me in the streets, or
of course not, dude.
Not one person has ever I've never had a bad word said to me in the street, only good. Do you know what I mean? So until people start coming up to me like, here, maybe you should, you know what I mean, that was a bit of a bad move you did, or that was been a prick, or that was been a dickhead. Yeah. People start saying that, then I don't give a shit what people say.
A quick break from one of our sponsors. The Shamrock Show is brought to you by the Second Chance Boxing Gym, Preston, Connecticut. If you're looking to be a fighter or just drop some pounds, come on, check out the Second Chance Gym, Preston, Connecticut. Coach Jody Sheely will hook you up, make sure you get the goals you're looking for. Check them out on Facebook at the Second Chance Gym. It's where I train. Come on down. Tell them Shamrock sent you. You get a day free just to check it out and see if it's for you. The Second Chance Gym, Preston, Connecticut.
So speaking of, I mentioned MVP. Something that I feel like, so you had that dust up. I'm from Connecticut. You had that dust up with the kid, Mike Kimball, right? And I don't know him. I've seen him around, but Connecticut being small, he's on the other side of the state. But what never really got talked about, you bodied MVP in that scuffle. You had double underhooked him and put him into the wall, and nobody talked about that. I'm like, yo, that's 170. MVP's been in my gym. He's skinny, but he's tall, man. And that's 170 pounder. You bodied him, dude. that's what I got out of that whole thing.
Well, it's not all talk, you know what I mean? Say something, it's on. MVP is just trying to, you know what I mean? I've got nothing against MVP, man.
He's a nice enough guy, man. He is, but
I love MP to bits, and it wasn't even that it was. I didn't even know he was in fucking front of me.
Yeah,
someone's in front of me, stopping me, so I was like, "Fuck this motherfucker!" I'm just boom, good luck. So I lifted him off the feet, but and then I was like, "Oh fuck, that's MVP." You know what I mean? It's constantly spinning, kick me in the head.
Well, you got to keep that distance with him, man. But you know, obviously you wouldn't know this, but I think it was after Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier had it was Stipe and Francis Ngannou. They fought in Boston, right? And this is a couple years back. And afterwards, me and my girl, we come out of the arena, we were at the fights, and I see Tom Egan, and he was with Mike Kimball. Mike Kimball had just signed to Bellator, but he hadn't fought then. And immediately he was like, oh, Tom was like, yo, this is my man Mike. He's going to be the next big thing. And Kimball started talking about you right then. And that's before he even had a fight in Bellator. He had, for whatever reason, he thought that he was going to come up on you.
Man, them two boys are as fake as each other. So they are. It's absolutely, I don't know. I'll skip on giving my opinion. My opinion's irrelevant.
No. I just wanted, you don't even need to say anything. I just let you know that I was kind of shocked by that, but that
it's crazy that, right, mate, we hear this. It's kind of, I'm not like a sectarian person. Do you know what I mean? You are what you are. I'm an Irishman through and through. If you're not, you're not. As long as you have respect for me, I've got respect for you. Now, sometimes in Americans, you don't really get the kind of political scene like back home or whatever. And it's the same. I've got friends from every religion and back each side of the border. I've got friends who are Catholics. I've got friends who are Protestants. I've got friends who live in the UK. I've got friends that live in Northern. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit. If you disrespect me, then you'll fucking know about it. But don't disrespect me, I won't disrespect you, and I am what I am. You are what you are. But Mike Kimball wouldn't know this. He's never been in Ireland. He's a young kid. The troubles are before my time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like my parents' fucking generation. All them people, they know all about it inside out. I just know when you're growing up, people, teenagers would act a little bit and say a few things, and it's never shite. You know what I mean? I was never involved in anything like that, and it's not like that back home. But on the 12th of July, it's a day where the Protestants celebrate their day. Yeah. And obviously, I respect them. So go and celebrate your day. Do what you do. It's nothing to me. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect. And then on the 12th of July, I get this video from Mike Kimball, and it's like the Orange Order marching, and it goes, "Happy 12th, motherfucker." And I just sat back and I was all, "No problem, mate. Whatever. Thanks." You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm not celebrating. No, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Whatever. And that was Tom Egan. Pit him. Do you know what I mean? Tom Egan knows me. We lived together in Vegas.
Yeah. I've seen like in the Notorious movie and shit.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So to be someone, to try and teach someone to get under someone's skin over a reason like that, which you just can't get under my skin about it anyway, because I know he didn't understand what he was talking about. So how can you insult someone when you don't know what you're under? When you don't even know what you talk about? But Tom fucking knows. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I have the problem. Is kind of going, do you know what I mean? You're trying to tell people how to get in like political, religious things. Yeah. Just say you're going to fuck me up. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with that. But just doing that that's a move I've got a problem with. Do you know what I mean? Tom's comes from Dublin. We lived together. We're in Vegas, etc. He knew where I stands, and I know where he stands. And he's a pussy. That's what he is.
Well, Americans in general, right? So my mother, she more information than I need in my life, but she was conceived in Ireland, but she was born here. Her parents are from Ireland. And then my dad is first generation here. But I didn't know, I went to Ireland for the first time in 2012 to Belfast. And that's when when I was 32 or something, that's when I learned about the history. Like, as an American, he wouldn't even have any idea.
No, and I lived there. I grew up in a border town. Do you know what I mean? So there was doing something.
Like my cousins, to them it's nothing. But like my aunt and uncle, they kind of gave me all the background. My grandmother sent me home with my little dairy, thing here.
Yeah,
it's something I pay attention to, that just because I think it's interesting to me. But I know that for this generation, it's not a thing. But yeah, the kid Mike Kimball would have no idea even what he's talking about. But
exactly. Well, it all stopped when I was born. You know what I mean? Like they stopped thousand or something like that. You know what I mean? When I was like fucking 3 or whatever. There's some people you're as well just leave them to their own devices, man. You know what I mean? Don't you got your thing, all that best, and see you after. Do you know what I mean? I got no time for people who. Do you know what I mean? Why did he not tell him what I was like at training? Do you know what I mean? Why not give him a bit of scope in that? You know what I mean? There's no need to get into something that he thought I would have got cracked under. Do you know what I mean? That's not how I am, and that's not how I was brought up. You know what I mean? And my father always told me, if anyone ever tried to involve you in politics and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? And you just let them at it. Do you know what I mean? You can't get under your skin like that. I am who I am, and no matter what you say, it's not going to change. You know what I mean? I can't change that.
On a little bit lighter note, I wanted to ask you: have you been driving over there in Kansas City?
Oh yeah, I've been coming over here since being like not in America, but I've been driving on the upside of the road since being like 17.
Oh really?
So, yeah, because I used to, when I was a kid, I used to go to Iceland and stuff for like.
Oh, and they drive on the right side over there too.
Yeah, the Ireland, UK, Australia, and China, I think, are the only places that drive on the left side. So it is. So I'm pretty used to it. I actually find it easier here. I'm better driving than I'm back home.
Well. My story, right? So a few years back, I rented a car in Dublin, right over by the old SPG on the Nas Road, right? So I had been 4 times, but I hadn't driven. But I had my girl and my stepdaughter, and we drove from Dublin to Belfast to Derry, and then she had family in Kerry, right? So I did the whole, my first time driving over there. But I got down to Kerry, and we got these roads that are like back ass country roads. And in some little village, right, I hit a truck, like scraped all down the side of the car. And of course, I had turned down the insurance in Dublin, right? So I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need the insurance. And then got this big scrape. So we took it, like, we covered it with mud and I brought it back, and then we dropped the car off. The guy was like, I was like, yo, I told my girl, get the Uber. And the guy was like, hey, wait. I was like, yo, see you later, man.
They're running. They're going to watch this video now, so they're going to be calling you up and be like, here, man, you owe us 500 quid for that.
Yeah. I can never rent a car in Ireland ever again. I actually even got, they tried to, I got a Facebook request one day, and I click and I look, and it was some girl from Dublin. I'm like, who's this? And I look at her job title, and she was like regional director for enterprise or something.
Look, it happened to me here. When I came here a few months ago, I got my management team in part-time. It was like or whatever. It was like when I rent a car, and they were like, oh, go the enterprise or whatever. So I rocked up, booked it all online, whatever, got the car for the time, and I went in, and they're going, you're blacklisted because you owe like $400 and some dollars. Yeah. I was like, I owe money? I was like, I don't owe anyone money. That's one thing about me. I hate owing money, so I never owe anyone any money. I don't finance. I don't fucking, what I mean? Like, I don't have bills. Like, I don't have a lot of debt or anything like that. I fucking hate that. And I looked at the guy. I was like, I don't owe you money, mate. Do you know what I mean? He was all, you definitely do. So I was there for over 20 minutes trying to argue. And I go to him, when was this? And he was like, 10 years ago. I was like, you tell me I owe you 400 quid from when I was 14. Yeah. I was like, I've never been to America when I was 14, mate. So how the fuck can I rent a car from you? But they blacklisted me off their system because of my license. And they said 10 years ago that I owe this. I was like, motherfuckers, so I have to go and buy a fucking car now. Here, so I'm going to buy one today.
Oh, really?
Cool. They said, yeah, it's good out here. I'm enjoying it. So it's good just floating around, you know what I mean? Peaceful and that. So it's good. Can stay focused.
It's a big city, yeah? Kansas City, or no?
It's very spread out. Do you know what I mean? Nobody, like, Dublin's a big city, but Dublin's like just Dublin City. Yeah. Is where I've got like different little parts here. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of go, like, one part's like very businessy kind of area, and then the other part's like kind of your bars, restaurants, and all that kind of spots. And it's just, it's very like spread out. But yeah, it's a pretty big place.
It surprised you that Kansas City is not in Kansas? Because I was like 99% sure, but when I wanted to check the time, right, I was like, what's the time in Kansas? And I'm like, wait, no, I need to check Missouri.
Yeah, but there's Kansas City, Kansas, and then there's Kansas City, Missouri. That's fucked up, isn't it? And it's only like over there. It's like 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was driving. They're like, oh, you going into Kansas City? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no, you're in Missouri. I'm like, yeah, no, Kansas City. And they're like, yeah, but that's not Kansas City, Kansas. And I'm like, there's too many Kansases going on here, man, for me to process this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to book that, man. I mean, that's even the first time I went to Dublin, right? I didn't realize the scope of Dublin, and I booked a hotel in Clondalkin, right? And I thought, I was like, oh, it's in Dublin, but fucking
the city.
Yeah, and that, it was a nightmare because it was like I could take the bus into town for like $3 or whatever, but it took like an hour because it stops everywhere, or it was like $40 for a freaking cab every day back and forth. It was like the worst decision I ever made in my life. But
you just hop on the Lewis, give a fake name, the little Lewis, the little tram, and the boys come. Just say you're from. Just give a different address. Give your next door neighbor's address. That's what I do. So
I'm already banned from Enterprise. I don't want to not be able to get on the train, man. I can't get blackballed in Dublin.
You're going through customs the next time. You're like, I'll meet you a few grand deal. Stuff.
So you are fighting May 7th, yeah?
So I'm back up in Connecticut.
Yeah, I wish that you could be here for a full arena, because we got a big base here for MMA in Connecticut. Like the place sells out. It's bigger than the three. Because I went to a Bellator show. You were on crutches. You were there, but it was when Connor smacked MJ from Bellator. But I was at that show. In Mohegan, we got it's even bigger than that. It fills up, man. You would.
But that wasn't the full arena that night. They have it. Yeah, so they do. When I fight, they open up the full arena.
Gotcha.
So they do. Yeah, it's a like 9,500 people holds.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun night when I was there. Sinead starts somebody, and then Charlie Ward killed that guy.
Sinead like panzer one out that night, didn't she? She like knocked her out cold. Like
yeah.
In the hammer fist.
Yeah. It was good, but yeah, I was hoping to catch you fight, and then Peter too, man. Before I die, I'll be part of Zombie in that arena, dude. That's the dopest shit, man.
So it is. That's how I walk out. So it is. It's just the Irish people get behind that song. Do you know what I mean? It's a good one. The hairs be standing in the back of your neck.
Yeah, you killed it on the last one too. The free from desire and the robe. You came out with the robe, dude. No one in MMA does a robe. You came out with the robe. That shit was fucking dope.
There's a few people who've done it now. So there's Cal in his last fight when he fought me. He wore one. I think MVP has wore one as well.
All right, I can see that. I can see MVP in a robe, but you gotta stick with that, man. That's good, man. That's what's up.
My first main event when I was in Dublin.
Yeah.
So I'm literally hours out from my fight, right? So I'm just chilling with the boys, having a laugh, or whatever, and we put on Muhammad Ali, and he comes out with like the black and white robe.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that. So yeah, I need to get that for tonight. And so then there's this store back in Ireland called Fight Store.
Yeah.
So Claire runs it. So I rang up Claire. I was like, Claire, she's like, she's busy, the shows and she's selling merchandise, whatever. Like, Claire, please do me a big favor. Can you get me that the robe? And so I can get you one, but there's like a name or something on the back of it, like maybe it's like Sure Ray or something like this. Yeah. And I was like, well, it has to say the Stravanimal. And she just looked and she said, oh, fuck's like, you owe me. So within an hour, she brought it to like a printer. She got the Stravanimal on it and brought it back. That was the white one. That was against Stephen Graham, my first main event.
Yeah.
And I told no one knew that I was doing it. And I just pulled it out and the whole place stood up. And I was like, mate, that's popping off. I was like, that had never been done before. You know what I mean? No one in MMA wore the robe, and it was cool. And then after that, then I started getting like diamonds and stuff. I actually started paying a few quid for them and getting diamonds and all that stuff put onto them. So the robe's gonna stick, I think.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. And like I said, it's original. You know, it's commonplace in boxing, but in MMA, it never made the transition for whatever reason. And it's good because when you came out, right, and you got the hood up and you got the tricolor and your back's to the crowd, and before this music came on, man, like that's a moment, dude. That's
sick, isn't it? And you're just standing there. I swear to God, it's kind of like people think you're like, when people watch you on TV and shit, they kind of start thinking, oh, they're just people that do that. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, man, I'm just like everyone else. You know what I mean? I'm just like you. Do you know what I mean? I go back and put my feet up and sit and have a laugh with my mom and dad and whatever as well. You know what I mean? I'm just normal. So when you're standing there and you're facing, you hear you can feel the crowd. You know what I mean? At your back, like singing and cheering. And you're looking back into just the wee black fucking bit at the thing, man. That's a moment that just for your mind, you're going, I'm going to turn around here and I face 10,500 people on their feet, and I have to go out here and knock out bollocks of this cunt. It's kind of like that's like the best moment I've ever felt in my life, and it's just something I can't even put into words. I mean, I get goosebumps. Like I'm fucking. I don't know if you can see the hairs are standing on my arm here speaking about it. So there, it's surreal, man, and it just like humbles me or something. It humbles me, but also makes me feel like the man because I am the man. Do you know what I mean? But it just makes me realize like everything I've done in my life was for this. You know what I mean? And it's all been worth it. Dropping out of school, giving up my whole teenage. The teenage life, you know what I mean? That lifestyle when you're a teenager, not being going out with friends and all this crack, and I give up all that. You know what I mean? I didn't have much of a childhood, or my early through my teenage years. I didn't have a childhood then. Do you know what I mean? I was just away training, and it's all paid off me. So it's fucking worth every goddamn bit of it. Just being away from my parents, and I remember being in Vegas with Connor, and my granny was dying with cancer at the time, and I've been on FaceTime just seeing her deplete, and it used to like not break me, but it's made me who I am today, and I don't regret it at all. You know what I mean? I'm making these people proud today by making the commitments that I have made, and it's a good feeling when you face out then, you face that crowd and you go, this was worth every fucking bit of it. Walk out there, strangle some cunt, and then see my mother run into the crowd, come into the cage with me. My dad's in my corner, and got John and everyone else, Kiefer and the boys, and it's paid off. So it's worth it. If I don't make anything else, I've done it. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy. I've made I've made them surreal moments in my life that I'm going to carry forever. Everything else is just a bonus. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to die trying to be a world champion and stuff, but I'm living my dream, mate. I'm living my fucking dream.
That's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, but you know, my whole point was like, I wish you could get that in Connecticut, because in the Northeast here, we got a lot. There's a large Irish American population up here. Like, I'm surprised. I don't know if the logistics are that they haven't tried to bring you into like a Boston show or like something, but
yeah, I fought Madison Square Garden. I'm like one of the youngest.
Yeah.
That was quality, man. That was the moment that I was like, I can be everything I think I am. So that moment. Leo Machida, my uncle got me into karate when I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And he then went and fought MMA. My uncle Kevy, he's my dad's brother. He was in my corner for that fight. And he was like, introduced me to MMA. He's like, come out and watch them and stuff. And he's like, these boys came from karate, and now they do this. Do you know what I mean? It's better. It's more violent. You can knee them. You can elbow them. And I was like, yes, let's watch that. And we used to just watch Lyoto Machida, and I used to watch all the documentaries about his family and his brother, and do you know what I mean? Shinzo and
drinking
shit.
The piss.
Yeah, drinking the piss. like proper martial. You know what I mean? Because coming from karate, I was a proper martial artist. You know what I mean? As much as I'm as a prize fighter, I'm a martial artist in heart. And man, when the Bellator texted me, they're like, do you want to fight Shinzo Machida in Madison Square Garden? I was just like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? That's my idol's brother. You know what I mean? Not only his big brother. You know what I'm saying? So, man, when I accepted that, I was just, let's get to work here. And I went out and did it like, you know what I mean? I did it as if it was nothing. And
that's literally like the saying, right? You want to train till your idols become your rivals, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And
John, that's what John told me. John just replied to me. It was train until your idols become your rivals, mate. And this is where you're at now. And
you busted him up in the stand up too before you submitted him. You know, like that's.
Oh,
yeah.
And the good thing is about doing karate, and it's kind of where I got when karate people, they kick and always land with a punch. Do you know what I mean? So I knew how to pressure him into kicking, and I knew as soon as he kicked, just the takedown's there because he's going to punch, and they stop you from punching him. And so when he kicked me, I just felt the kick coming, whoop, dipped underneath it, and I was like, I've got the timing for that. And he didn't expect me to know that kind of timing. Do you know what I'm saying? But I went to work for that one. I went to Iceland, trained with the national karate team, and I left no stone unturned for it. And just after it, then I remember the turning moment for me was when I walked out there and I faced the crowd, and the crowd was blowing up or whatever, and I walked straight over into his face. So I did, bowed in front of him and raised my hand, and I go to him, "You're done in one," like this. And then I looked up and seen his big brother just staring over the cage. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, no, it's like kind of, do you know when you're younger and you would have like stole your brother's shoes or something, and then you hear the door and you're going, bollocks, or your mom asked you to do something and you didn't do it, and you're going, bollocks, and you're trying to do it, you know what I mean, before it comes, because you know she might beat fuck out of you. That was like one of them moments. I was like, bollocks. You know what I mean? And I just stepped back and I was going, let's fucking go, boys. That's what I said in my head. Let's fucking go. I was all, the Machidas, is it? I was all, this is the fucking Gallaghers. Let's go. You can't stop me. You know what I mean? I'm going to bring you what I'm about. And I just went out and did it. Do you know what I mean? And that was the moment where I realized I can do what I want now. Do you know what I mean? I can if I put my mind to it, I'm going to do it.
Well, even as a fan, for me, watching that fight, like, you know, I was nervous for you in the stand-up because I hadn't really seen much of Shinzo, but I figured Machida, I was like, fuck, this guy, he's going to be so nasty standing up. And then I saw you busting him up. I was like, oh, he's got it, man. You know what I mean? That is a big turn. And Madison, the biggest arena in the world, not the biggest size-wise, but Madison Square Garden is Madison Square Garden, man. You know?
And that's the thing about me, man, is even with the grappling and all, it's going to show soon. I just haven't proved Well, I have that at all. If you know me, and you know what I'm about. But man, you see, when I'm meeting, like coming over here and training with people, they just look at me and go, "Holy fuck! Like you're good. You know what I mean? You are what you say you are." And a lot of people don't realize that until they feel it. Yeah. And that's in May 7th. It's going to be like that. So it is. It's going to be like that. And I'm not invincible. So I'm definitely not invincible. But I am every fucking thing I think I am and everything I say I am. And that's one thing for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, the part of the fight game is no one goes undefeated. I mean, it's almost impossible, and the real fans of fight, like to me, a loss is like watching a fighter. I just want to see guys fight each other who, like, and put it out there. The loss doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's not like boxing where a guy's 25-0 because he's fought nobody. He loses once and everyone's, oh, that guy sucks. You know what I mean? Like MMA, the fans know like losses are part of the growth. And, we've seen since the one loss you had, you ate it like it was nothing, no excuses. You just came out and did it. And now I think you got like the biggest fight, rankings wise. You win this fight, you got to be next for Archuleta. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That is it. So it is. I'm gonna go beat Patchy, then I'm gonna fight Juan. So it is. I can't fight Juan, man. I've got a lot of respect for Juan. He's very good. So he is very good. Just his work rate, and I like what he's about. You know what I mean? He's about it. So he is, and none of the rest of them are. None of the fucking rest of them are. And he's the champion of my division. Do you know what I mean? He's got everything I want. Do you know what I mean? So if anyone that I'm going to, you know what I mean, I'm speaking facts. Not one of them are about it. And I respect Juan because I know he is. And he knows I am. Do you know what I mean? And we've got that respect for each other. And that one's going to be good. But I'm not overlooking Patchy Mix. So I've got a hard fight on my hands. And that's good because I'm fucking hard. So and that's what I need. So it is. I want these hard fights because that's me. I'm up there. I'm at that level, and on May 7th, I'm gonna shock everyone else. Not that I don't care to shock anyone, but I'm just gonna go out there and prove to myself that, like, once again, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing, and I'm going all the way.
What do you see in Patchy Mix? He's another guy who gets a lot. He's supposed to have a nice jiu-jitsu game. I've looked at his record. I've only seen him fight twice. I don't really know much. I thought he was a Brazilian guy, actually. I thought the name Patchy Mix, I was like, he's got to be from Brazil. I'm like, oh, no.
Do you know on his birth certificate he's called Patrick?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I looked it up before when I saw you were going to fight him, and this kid's name's Patrick from New York. I had no idea. I was like, oh, this guy's from Sao Paulo for sure,
He won't call himself Patrick, so he won't think goes by Patchy. A fucking fool. Imagine being embarrassed by the name that your own mother gave you. You know what I mean? For a start, that says a lot about someone. Do you know what I mean? That you're embarrassed of the name that your own mother birthed you, that you have to change it. You know what I'm saying? He went and changed it.
Like, legally he's changed his name?
Legally changed it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so he did one of the fighters in Bellator. Who was it? Was it Juan, maybe? Maybe it was Juan, or no, it wasn't Juan. It wasn't Juan. There was someone in here I was speaking to, and he told me that the Ali, it was something to do with his manager. Told them, maybe it was my management told me that something had happened and his birth name was Patrick, and he legally went and changed it. So he did. So that says a lot about someone's character when they can't respect their own mother with the name that they give them. Must eat you alive.
He's another guy who's known for getting people's backs and strangling them. I think that when you go take this win, I think it's going to show a lot. I think it's meaningful. I think it's really, really meaningful. He's a big dude too. He looked like, I guess, Juan. He looked big. He got big legs.
Big, yeah. He's long, so he is. Yeah. But he says I know he's strangled everyone, and that's his thing. Do you know what I mean? And I respect that. And I'm going to go to the floor with him, no problem.
Yeah. But
he's tweeted saying he's going to knock me out. I'm like, mate, let's get one thing straight. Like, every fight you've been in, he's jumped on, and that's not. I'm not saying, oh, you're a pussy for jumping on legs or diving on takedowns. I take everyone down. That's my thing, and that's what I do. But don't say you're going to knock me out when we all know you're going to just jump on a takedown and the first fucking pop, change, you're going to jump on a takedown. So I'm looking forward to see if he carries his balls in there and does what he says. So it is, because if he comes to knock me out, I'm going to flatten him, mate. I'm going to flatten him. I'm going to knock his jaw off and make a lot of people's jaws drop. And that's the work I've been doing out here. So it's going to be like second nature to me in there. It's going to be like a walk in the park. And he's going to be tense. He's going to be angry, pacing back and forward, looking like he's going to cry. And I'm going to be in there having fun. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun in there. I'm going to be peppering him. I'm going to be, poking at him. I'm going to be fucking. He's going to feel it. So he's going to feel it. That's for sure. I'm not going to say too much on here, but I'm looking forward to when a man changes their own name that their mother gives him. He ain't standing up with me at all. He ain't switching up. He's going back straight to what he knows, because he's a pussy. You know what I mean? And he's not about it. He's not really about it. He acts like he's about it. He's too emotional. I'm going to be too calm. Any move I make, he's going to be flinching. He's going to be trying to be a step ahead rather than just being in the moment. I'm going to be in the moment. So I'm going to be there and just in the flow of it. And it'll show.
That's why it's the Jimmy Show, right?
Exactly. My hard work's going to show off, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to, what I'm really looking forward to is getting the belt. And then any haters that I see around or whatever, just walking up to them like, you're all talk, mate. You're all fucking talk.
Who's going to be in your corner that night?
John Kavanagh and James Cross.
Yeah. You're going to have both the guys out, yeah?
Yeah. There's no better team than that, is there not? You got two top class coaches, you know what I mean? John's brought me up from when I was a kid, give me fucking everything, and now I'm out here training with James. You know what I mean? So I've got the best of everything, mate, and I'm very thankful for the team that I've got around me. And
he didn't have any problem with you coming over, making the move, yeah?
No, of course not. You know what I mean? You do what's best for me. Do you know what I mean? And that's what a good coach does. A good coach does what's best for his student. Do you know what I mean? And he could just see that I needed to get away and get my mind to a different place and have none of them distractions and stuff. And also he knows the level of James and the guys over here, so he knows that my work is good, and him and James go back and forward and stuff. And
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so it is. I got the best of both worlds, man. Do you know what I mean? And I'm good. I'm in a good position, and I've got money. I'm young. I can travel. I've got nothing else, and I'm about to put it all on the line, bro.
What's speaking of that, you're being young. What's your plan after fight? Do you have any business ventures going on? I know I know you got a deal with the clothing company that just came out, and I know on your website you've got your own. I'll put all the links up for both of that stuff for you. But
yeah.
What's life after fighting for James Gallagher?
Yeah, I'm gonna go into property. So I would say property, and then now I've got the clothing little venture going on and stuff like that, and I'm gonna be dabbling in a few other things in the next while. But me, it's kind of the most interesting one I've got is property. So I do. So I'm starting to like it. It's kind of something that I'm a bit it's really interests me, how it works and everything. So for the last year or so, I've just been kind of studying it and trying to figure it out in different countries and different places and asking people and that. And now I'm starting to buy back home, and then I'm going to start renting out houses and that kind of thing. So that's something that I'm looking to develop and get good at. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a skill, and so I'm looking forward to. Now I'm just dibbling and dabbling in it, but after I'm done fighting, I'm definitely going to get good at that.
That's what's up, man. I love talking to you. I don't want to keep you all day. I know you got to go buy a car.
And I have to go run here, so I do.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit you with a couple quick questions. All right.
Let's do it.
For some reason, a scenario is for some reason you've ended up in the Temple Bar area, bunch of drunk tourists. You're gonna get in a fight. Who are you bringing, John Kavanagh or Sinead Kavanagh?
Oh man, that's Sinead. Dude,
Sinead, right?
Me and John will chill. Me and John will chill by the side and let Sinead deal with whoever it is. That situation may well take. Me and John will have a beer while Sinead deals with him. She doesn't need our help for distractions.
That's the bar fighting Kavanagh, right?
Me and John will have a beer while she deals it. Sinead's man, I love Sinead.
Yeah, I linked up with her when she came over here. She got stopped on a cut. It sucked. It was a bad, I felt terrible for her. But I linked up with her when she was here. Man, she's good people for sure.
Yeah, she needs one of the real ones. So she is.
Worst excuse: Deontay Wilder's walkout being his walkout suit being too heavy, or Paulo Costa's wine the night before.
Man, that's not Paulo Costa's excuse. Do you know whose excuse that is? Do you see that little fucking twat in his corner with the stupid glasses?
Eric?
That fucking clumpet. I swear to God, man. See all his fighters, all of them are all solid killers.
Yeah.
They would be so much better without that stupid little twerp in their corner, man. I swear to God, telling them in, dragging people down. You should fight him. It's like, listen, you fucking fight. Do you know what I mean? Running around there with your stupid fur coat all stupidly ripped in. Man, he's an absolute clumpet. I swear to God, he's a cancer to MMA. That's what he's like. I fucking hate that guy. I love these. I'm going to smack him someday. I swear to God. So, man, because all of his fighters, the Pitbull brothers, man, they're beasts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I got respect for all those guys because they get in there and do it. Do you know what I mean? And what's the other guy? I should know his name. He calls me out. Well, his fucking little Phil of a coach calls me out. He's in my division.
Yeah, there was that press conference they were talking about, and when you and Peter were, I can't think. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either. But
like him, he's very good. Like they're all good fighters. But you do know that they would be taken seriously if that fucking clumpet wasn't anywhere near them. That's what I don't know, because they're all like solid fighters. I'm going, boys, you just need to get all away from that clumpet. He's just running you down. Do you know what I mean? He's making you all look like clowns. No one, Costa was too drunk. John Jones is out there in lines off strippers' arses, and he's no excuse for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the, you know what I mean? You got to get too much wine, mate. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? That's that little clumpet in their corner. He's, mate, tell him you were drunk. You look like the man. I was out drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like John Jones would still go in there and whip her ass after being on the session for 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So we're gonna go with Deontay Wilder as the worst excuse. I'm gonna say that then. Make sure your robe doesn't weigh 40 pounds when you go out. I don't want you too tired because your robe was too heavy. What's the worst Irish accent in a movie you've ever seen, or the best? Either one.
I'm not really a big movie guy, to be honest.
No?
I don't really.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not really. And if I was watching it, it wouldn't even come into my head. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, that's a shit accent or whatever. I don't know. I don't really. I feel like when I'm in a position and I'm pitting like eye contact. Do you know what I mean? So who the fuck am I to tell an actor that they're accent shit? You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of mentality that I've got about everything. Is kind of if I can't do it better, then I won't really speak about it.
Well, that was gonna be my next question. Can you do an American accent?
Nah.
I've been working on my Belfast accent, but I'm not willing to debut that yet. But
well, see, I've been traveling since I've been about 14, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't even got like a Strabane accent. I don't even got a Belfast accent. I don't even got a Dublin accent. So I don't mind. I don't know. It's fucked. It depends who I'm speaking to. And I can't help it. Just speak away to people. I'll pick up the phone to me dad. I'm like, yes, that was a crack. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go then and speak to fucking someone from Iceland or wherever it is. And I'll speak slower and like kind of like this, because I know when I speak normal, they're going to ask me, they're going to be like, what'd you say? And I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? I'm telling you what I'm telling you. Understand it? You know what I'm saying? So you learn very quick.
All right, James, man, I won't take up any more of your time, dude. I really, really appreciate you coming through to do this, bro. It was great catching up with you, and I can't wait to have you in here in Connecticut breaking necks and cashing checks, dude.
Yes, man. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be on, and looking forward to catching up in Connecticut.
All right, man. Have great training, man. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you later.
The Shamrock Show is brought to you by Beard Octane. Check out beardoctane.com or Beard Octane on all your favorite social media sites. Use code SHAMROCK10 for 10% off your purchase. beardoctane.com.
I like your beard.